Whoa, that gave me such bad deja vu. Hello! It has been a hot minute since I've done this whole thing. It feels simultaneously so familiar, just like riding a bike, and also so foreign, weirdly nerve-wracking. I'm assuming that most of the people watching this are probably coming from Instagram and TikTok because I guess I'm going to post that this video is live. Every now and then I get a TikTok on a post on another platform where someone says, oh my God, I remember I used to watch you on YouTube, and I cannot tell you how excited that makes me. I think because it's so far in my rear vision mirror sometimes, I forget that it was such a big part of my life. Consequently, I forget that a pretty decent amount of people probably saw me at some point or another. For those of you who don't know, if you've come from following me more recently on Instagram or TikTok, I did the YouTube thing back in the day when I was in high school and for a little while afterwards as well. It was always just such a fun creative outlet, and over the past few years I've really had this yearning, this hankering to come back, but what I created back then, what my life was back then, is so different from where I'm at now that I've really come up against a wall of not knowing what I could talk about, what I could make. It's not like I disappeared off the face of the planet. If you follow me on Instagram or anywhere else, you would know that I still have been posting and I still have been, having fun doing that. But I think in my core, I am a long form content girly. I grew up watching 15, 20-minute YouTube videos. I do find it hard sometimes to get my ideas across eloquently in like a 30-second video, especially because I'm someone who takes about 500 stops along the way of telling a story to finally get to the point. And so sometimes short form content just doesn't fill the gap in my soul. So anyway, I've had this desire to come back. I've wanted to, but I really haven't known what I would post about, what I would do. And so I've kind of just been my own worst enemy, getting in my way, stopping myself from getting started. And then just recently, something very exciting has happened in my life, and I've gone, oh my God, YouTube is the perfect place to document that. And that's what's kind of gotten me here. But before I got into doing all that, documenting that, I was like, it feels quite rude to just pop up all of a sudden and not acknowledge the fact that I've been gone for what feels like 10,000 years. And so this video is kind of just to catch you up a little bit on why I left, what I've been doing, what's been happening, and then my next video will kind of be, I don't know, kicking off a new era, I suppose. The crazy thing is I never really planned to stop making videos. It just happened. Like I said, I was most active, I would say, when I was in school. It was such a fun hobby. I really enjoyed it. And then as I got older, and especially as I would say I hit kind of 20, I moved into the workforce full time, and I very quickly realized how much energy it takes to just exist in the world. Especially when you're being an adult and you are earning rent, you're working multiple jobs, you're doing all the things. So much of my mental energy, my creative energy, just my general ability to do anything was being poured into my full-time job. And so when I would get home, I just wouldn't really have it in me. I know a lot of people have opinions on how much effort and energy it takes to be a creator, but let me tell you, it does sometimes take kind of a lot, and I never wanted to half-ass anything. And so I think more and more as I felt like I had less to give, I kind of just stopped showing up. And then the longer the break went on, like I said, the more I got in my own way, the more I was like, what do I have to say? What does anybody care? Like, I still love a lot of the same things that I did. I love DIY, which you'd know if you follow me on Instagram. I still love clothing and traveling and all of those sorts of things, but what that looks like for me has changed a lot, as it kind of does as you grow up. I forgot how annoying it is when the lighting changes. Are you gonna go behind a cloud? I think the real nail in the coffin for me was my habits as a viewer, consumer, subscriber, whatever you want to call it, changed too. I really stopped watching long videos as I moved more to TikTok, where things are so quick, my attention span shrunk. I kind of continued on for a bunch of years, but I've really found myself, especially this year, I would say, loving just sitting down and putting on a long video, taking it around the house with me or with whatever I'm doing, and just watching it, connecting with someone, enjoying the time. And that has really kind of reignited that spark. I want to do it again. I want to be able to tell long stories and connect with you guys and bring you along on this journey that I'm about to start. The very exciting news, if you haven't seen, is I'm building a house, which I can't believe I'm saying those words. I've had so much heartbreak over, losing out at auction, having offers rejected. It's felt extra tough because I am doing this build all by myself. I didn't do it with my partner, no parental support, fully 100% funded by me. It's hard from a financial perspective. It's hard from a logistical perspective. You wouldn't think in 2025 that being a woman trying to do something by yourself would be, more difficult. Turns out it is sometimes. I have been bursting to tell somebody this news. I've been sitting on it for a little while because I wanted to wait until the land purchase settled just in case something went wrong. I've been burned too many times at this point to put my faith in anything, and so I've been waiting and waiting to tell you guys, and now I'm so excited that the news is out. Where have I been for what feels like the last 10,000 years? I got a big girl job. I worked corporate for a number of years, quickly discovered that that wasn't necessarily for me. There are a lot of things to do with that. That's a whole other set of stories. And then COVID hit, and I found myself without a job, without the stability that my life needed, without a creative outlet, and without a lot of hope, truthfully. It was a very dark time in my life. At the end of 2020, I got a job working for a podcast called She's on the Money, which I still work there now. And I think maybe a lot of you might know me from there. Podcasting really filled the hole that YouTube left a little bit, I think. People ask me all the time, is it hard? And I said, no, it's as easy as breathing. I think reflecting back on that now, it's because podcasting and YouTube feel very adjacent to each other. You know, right now, yes, I'm just sitting here with my camera, but obviously I'm talking to you, and that feels very easy, very natural to me. Podcasting, there's a whole nother person, sometimes two people there. So it's even easier again. So that has just been incredible. I'm so thankful for that job and for all of the opportunities that it has afforded me. But I think I've just really been craving an opportunity to talk about things that are a little bit closer to my heart, because that podcast is about finance, which if you had told me 10 years ago that I would be talking about finance and enjoying it, I would have thought you were insane. And I do love it, but I want to talk about more. I want to talk about the build and all of these other silly little things that I feel like those people don't really care, but hopefully my people do. I would love for you to leave some suggestions of videos that you would like to see or questions that you have. I was thinking maybe my next video could be a Q&A if I get enough questions. So any thoughts, feelings, concerns, please pop them in the comments. Instinctively, I want to say like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, but I don't know if people do that anymore. I feel like that might be uncool. With that being said, this channel has been dead for a very long time. So if you could like, comment, subscribe, it would help me out. Anyway, I just wanted to pop in and say hi, and that I'm so excited to be back and to chat to you, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye!